Jonathan Majors went from being a Hollywood sweetheart to being demonized by people all over the world after he was exposed for allegedly putting hands on his girlfriend. But he's now claiming that he's been framed, and get this, he brought receipts to prove that he did not do it. But is he telling the truth to save his career that just started, or is he just trying to twist the narrative? Jonathan Majors is one actor who has had the internet in a chokehold in the past couple of months because everybody has been thirsting over him. Apart from the fact that he's good looking, he's also good at what he does. And even though we're only a couple of months into 2023, he's already appeared in 2 major movies, Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which are major movies. His career is also pretty much solidified because he's going to be the next major villain of the MCU. Oh, and let's not forget that everybody thought he was a great guy. A kind of guy that says stuff like,
gentleness. It's quite unmasculine to try to emasculate another man. I'm not coming for nobody, but kindness is a big part of it.
And this is why it was crazy to hear that he got arrested, and not just arrested, but he was arrested for putting his hands on a woman. We don't know who the woman is yet because her identity is still being protected, but according to reports, she and Jonathan were on their way back from a bar in Brooklyn when she noticed that different women were texting him. This led to an argument in the taxi, and it evolved into a full-blown fight when they got home. According to sources, this got Majors mad, and that he allegedly grabbed her hand and allegedly slapped her. We're also told the alleged victim claims he put his hands around her neck during this. Our sources tell us the alleged victim had visible injuries, including a laceration behind her ear, redness, and marks to her face. She was taken to an area hospital and is in stable condition. Of course, the cops got involved because a 911 call was made from the house. When they got to the house, Jonathan was arrested and taken away. He was then booked, but he didn't spend too long behind bars because a judge released him on his own recognizance without bail. But if you think this case was wild, well, it gets even crazier. Y'all know how everyone thought Jonathan is a good Hollywood guy? Well, a couple of people who know him in real life and have worked with him have come forward to expose him for being a total psycho. These people are claiming that his good guy image is fake AF because he is nothing like that in real life. The first person to expose Jonathan is a filmmaker named A.B. Allen. And the interesting part about this is that he had already hinted at Jonathan's behavior a month before this DV allegations. A.B. Allen tweeted, "There's a particular actor relatively new on the scene who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who in actuality is a vicious, cruel, human being, both professionally and in his personal life, and every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane." At the time, he didn't name any names because, well, that would just be him begging for a lawsuit to be filed against him, even if he was speaking facts. But with Jonathan's new DV allegations, someone put 2 and 2 together and arrived at 4. The person that went back to quote Allen's tweet saying, "Now we know who this tweet was about." And Allen confirmed it saying, "Ding, ding, ding." With Jonathan's recent arrest, I guess Allen felt safe enough to actually reveal who he was talking about because Jonathan has more important things to worry about right now, like proving his innocence to millions of people worldwide. But Allen was not the only one who exposed Jonathan, because Tim Nokale, who worked with Jonathan in his years on Broadway, also had a couple of things to say about Jonathan. Unlike Allen, Tim didn't beat around the bush and went straight to the point saying, "I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it." Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and this is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. But there's another crazy twist in the story because other reports are claiming that the woman was not the one who called 911 for help, but that Jonathan was actually the one who called for help. A police source spilled the tea on this twist and said Majors called 911 himself to report his concern about his girlfriend with whom he lives. When police arrived, sources say the girlfriend told a different story, that she and Majors were in a cab on the way home from Brooklyn when he physically attacked her. Patrol officers noticed marks on the woman's body and they placed Majors under arrest. Majors was also charged with strangulation, assault, and harassment. A lot of people are convinced that Jonathan made the call so he could use it as a great defense point in court. I'm not gonna lie, him calling 911 first does make him look innocent. Jonathan is also claiming that he is innocent, saying that this is just a big fat misunderstanding that got out of hand. He had his lawyer release a statement for him saying, Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is probably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. This evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where the episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. She continued, all the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect these charges to be dropped soon. So they're claiming to have video footage as well as testimony from people who were there at the time of the event. They're also claiming that the victim is recanting the allegations against Jonathan. The lawyer also released a screenshot of the conversation between Jonathan and the woman after the incident, and girl, this should have stayed in the drafts because it does not make Jonathan look good at all. She said things like, they said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. If anything, these texts just make Jonathan look guilty because the woman did admit that she had injured after they got into a fight. But the thing is, even if Jonathan ends up being innocent, a lot of damage has already been done to his career because a lot of people are still convinced that he is guilty and that he bribed the victim or intimidated her into shutting up and recanting the allegations. There were comments like, after that astounding interview, Jonathan Majors does this? And if the reports about his history are true, then we just watched a sociopath tell Aisha Rasco that toxic masculinity needs to pass away. I feel sick to my stomach. This is so sickening. That Jonathan Majors stuff is disappointing, but not particularly surprising. Men get up to some pretty stupid, disgusting, and sick stuff in their spare time. It's sad, but nothing remotely shocks me anymore when it comes to men. And if Jonathan Majors really has been an abuser this whole time, he's really sick in the head. He was just in an interview talking about masculinity is kindness and gentleness. Men like that scare the heck out of me. Anywho, he is going to appear before a lawyer on May 8th, so that's when his lawyer is going to present all their evidence formally before the court. And then we'll know where this case is going to go from there. But while we wait to see how things play out, y'all need to check out the next video.